Hey, I'm Steve Parker. It's my honor to serve as the current NCMGMA president. I know you're busy, so this video will only be brief, but I did, on behalf of your board of directors, want to take a few moments to discuss the current COVID-19 pandemic and how your association has and is responding to the crisis. One of my favorite quotes, so I really don't know who said it, is this: "When life is sweet, say thank you and celebrate. When life is bitter, say thank you and grow." Always start with thanks. Clearly, life for all of us in the past 6 or 7 weeks has been fraught with worry, fear, bitterness, anxiety, more so than any of us would like. But finding things to be thankful for at times like this is what fuels our growth. And so I just want to begin with a few things I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for you, our membership, who, like neighbors joining a bucket brigade at a house fire, have been so willing to come to each other's aid during this chaotic period. Your willingness to share questions, thoughts, recommendations, and real solutions for very real problems using our listserv has been simply inspiring. In the best of times, these connections and this willing to share challenges and successes with each other is important and helpful, but exponentially more so in times like this. So thank you for your graciousness in pitching in together. I'm grateful for our leadership council, including our board of directors, our committee chairs, and our local chapter leadership, for using their committees, their knowledge, their connections, and their energy to help advocate for our practices during these unprecedented times. I'm grateful for NCMGMA's alliance sponsors, who have been stellar partners during this crisis, supplying recommendations, solutions, and assistance when practices have needed it the most. And I'm grateful for our association staff, who keep all of our efforts organized, moving forward with a clear communication and leadership strategies they provide our association. I also want to share how our organization has confronted the COVID-19 crisis. Some weeks ago, we launched our online COVID-19 resource page filled with resources from NCDHHS, National MGMA, our very own alliance sponsors, relevant webinars on demand, and more. We have facilitated issue-specific webinars on a host of COVID legislative and regulatory issues. These have been extremely well attended, and we've offered these for free, not only to the membership, but beyond to the entire healthcare community. Coming up, we have a peer-to-peer webinar on April 30th, where we'll hear from 6 of our NCMGMA members as to how their practices have undertaken this crisis. We continue to have a seat at various tables working collaboratively on COVID strategies in North Carolina, including our continued participation with NCDHHS's COVID Healthcare Coalition. These connections allow us to advocate for our members and their practices while also remaining connected to decision makers as they shape COVID policy. NCMGMA, working collaboratively with NCMS, Medical Society, and Curie, launched a weekly joint urgent care practice survey a month ago, tracking ways in which medical practices across the state are being affected during this pandemic. We're currently working on analyzing that data that you've provided in those surveys, and we'll be sending those results out in the very near future. We appreciate all our practices who participated in this weekly survey, helping us to provide significant benchmarking data for this historic period. All the while, NCMGMA continues to be busy continuing our normal strategic efforts in education, advocacy, and networking, including extensive planning for both our upcoming Advocacy Days event in June, as well as our fall conference scheduled for September in Asheville. At this juncture, both of these events remain on our schedule, but will adjust as needed. These are just a few positive reminders that NCMGMA, being close to 50 years old, remains a steadfast organization making a real difference for you and your practices. Thanks to all of you for your membership, for your engagement, and most especially your leadership. You're helping to save lives in this state at great risk to you and your staff, and I'm most especially grateful for that. Thanks, friends. Be in touch if you need us, and stay safe, well, and sane.